So 2-0 down. The Galaxy 11 really need to make something happen, and soon. And here's the man who can make it happen, Lionel Messi, dancing past defenders in his characteristically brilliant style. He's still going, Messi, and he's drawn the goalkeeper and beaten him too.
So hello guys, welcome to Football in Daily. Today we'll talk about the huge European transfers that could happen this summer. So yeah, prepare for this summer transfer window to be more frantic and exciting than ever before. The Premier League transfer window will close for businesses on August 9, 2 weeks earlier than usual, and with the World Cup also taking place this summer, it means future deals will need to come together quickly. The vote on transfers from English clubs will have a knockout effect across Europe, where there is a potential for some game-changing deals. It is rare to see many major names move on the same window, but it is starting to look like this name. Real Madrid and Juventus have an eye on talent from the Premier League, with Eden Hazard, Thibaut Courtois and Hector Bellerin all being monitored, while Gareth Bale and Sergej Milinkovic are among the big names who could land on English soil before the transfer window closes. So let's talk about the first transfer talk. So let's talk about Gareth Bale, that is most likely to move to Premier League back again. So Bale's future has been a constant source of debate during his time in Spain, but this time he's beginning to seriously consider return to England. Sources close to the player have told that Bale is growing increasingly frustrated with life under Real Madrid manager Zinedine Zidane and could be willing to move back to the Premier League. There is a belief that Zidane is unsure about Bale's role and his long-term value as a Galactico, perhaps backed by the fact that he did not start in either Champions League last 16 leg against Paris Saint-Germain. Bale has always maintained to those close to him he would look to end his career in England, but no one problem is finding the right home. Manchester United has always been his preferred destination if he does return, but there currently seems no space for him, with Jose Mourinho having to focus on positions in midfield and defense in the upcoming transfer window. A Madrid insider said a serious issue over whether it becomes possible for him to leave is whether they can agree a suitable fee for him. There is a belief that they should be able to reclaim almost the entire fee they spent on him based on the heights he has reached during his time at the Bernabeu. Bale has won the Champions League 3 times with Los Blancos as well as La Liga and Copa del Rey. So Chelsea could, if Real Madrid are moving for Eden Hazard, then Bale could be in the transfer, and Chelsea could become a genuine landing spot if he wants to head home, particularly given Madrid's interest in Eden Hazard or Thibaut Courtois maybe. So let's talk about the next player that is being involved in the transfer talks. A key part of the reason Madrid are looking beyond Bale is that they are seeking for the next Galactico, and Hazard is one of the priority signings being explored. Their interest in signing Neymar has also been making headlines, but I understand the deal would be so complex that it is not likely until the summer of 2019. Hazard is a more realistic target for now, and despite falling flat with Chelsea at the Camp Nou in the Champions League this week, sources in Spain are convinced an offer will be made before next season. The Belgium international has been in talks with Chelsea over a new contract, but at this stage of his career, a show of loyalty could damage his future prospects. One Chelsea source told the manner of the Champions League defeat was worrying, as it showed just how far the club are from winning the trophy. A concrete offer from Madrid will test Hazard's drive and ambition, and is certainly going to be a key storyline of this summer transfer window. So let's talk about the next player that is being involved in the transfer talks, and it's Tottenham Hotspur's Danny Rose. Danny Rose's future at Tottenham has not looked particularly bright since he declared in an interview with The Sun that he feels he is not paid his true worth. He hinted he would like to finish his career up north on a big contract, and it is starting to look like he will get his wish this summer. Jose Mourinho's search for a new left back is ongoing, and while Alex Sandro of Juventus is on the radar, sources close to Manchester United believe a €60 million deal for Rose is being to look more likely. It has been a problem area for the club since Luke Shaw failed to convince Mourinho he should take a regular starting spot. Ashley Young has performed admirably in the role, but he will not be continuing as the side's left back next time as Mourinho feels his side will not meet his ambition unless a specialist is brought in. Rose is likely to get the pay rise and big move he craves. So let's talk about the next player that is being involved in the transfer talks this summer, and he is none other than Thibaut Courtois. So Courtois did not cover himself in glory on Chelsea's trip to Barcelona as Lionel Messi twice scored with shots through his legs, yet he does remain on Real Madrid's wanted list. So I discussed Madrid's hierarchy would prefer to sign David De Gea, but feel Courtois is more attainable. Sources in London seem to confirm that, as they believe Chelsea do not see him as an irreplaceable figure. No contact has been made at this stage, but Madrid are planning to rush push on with the recruitment drive in April, and that will include a decision over a goalkeeper. If it is decided an upgrade on Keylor Navas is essential, then Courtois will be actively pursued. So let's talk about the next player that is being involved, and he's hugely involved in the transfer talk, that is Antoine Griezmann. So Antoine Griezmann was expected to join Manchester United last summer, but now a future in Barcelona is genuinely on the cards. Atletico president Enrique Cerezo played down the possibility of the France international living in an interview with Marca, and he still hopes his loyalty will prove key when it comes to deciding his future. Sources in Spain have said they believe the club know the chances of him staying slim this time, though, and the lure of Barca is going to prove too strong as they prepare an offer to make him part of the magical lineup at the Camp Nou. Griezmann is prepared to show his ambition by making the move across Spain. Leighton Sport reported an agreement is already in place, and while I am told that is not quite the case, progress is being made behind the scenes and the foundations have been laid so a transfer can move forward quickly around the World Cup. So Kyron Canning, Spanish football expert and correspondent for Agence France Presse in London, believes club in England may yet snatch him ahead of Barca, though there's no doubt Barcelona were very confident of landing Griezmann a few months ago. They even had to backtrack off some public statements from President Josep Maria Bartomeu, admitting contact with the player's family, which Atletico then took to FIFA to launch a complaint. The spectre of Griezmann's future has never gone away this season, with many Atletico fans reacting negatively towards him despite his spectacular return to form in 2018. At 100 million, he would also be cheap for Europe's biggest clubs, given the current market, his talent, age and marketability. The question is whether Barca really need to spend 100 million for the third time in less than a year, especially with the finances very tight as it is. Moreover, where goes Griezmann fit into a squad already boasting like Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, Ousmane Dembele and Philippe Coutinho, and that has performed so well with an extra body in a four-man midfield this season. For all those reasons, and despite Griezmann's obvious desire to remain in Spain, a move to the Premier League seems more plausible. When it was all happening, a news to me comes that Manchester City are also interested in signing Griezmann this summer with a swap deal with Sergio Aguero to Atletico Madrid, and they are boosting their squad. So let's see where Griezmann heads to. So let's talk about the next player that is involved in the transfer talks this summer. So it's none other than Hector Bellerin, the right back. So groundwork has been underway since the end of last summer over this move, and Hector Bellerin is likely to make a switch to Juventus this summer. Arsenal do not want to lose the player, but privately accept they cannot stand in the way of this ambition if his valuation is met. At this stage, a figure of 50 million euros is being discussed for the right-sided defender, and it is understood the 22-year-old is keen on the prospect of moving on after seeing Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Theo Walcott and Oliver Giroud seek new challenges. One positive being viewed from the Arsenal camp is that a sale would give them further opportunity to shake up the squad. They're expected to make at least 3 key additions in the summer. So let's talk about a new player that is being involved in the transfer talks this summer, and it will be a big transfer. It's none other than Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. So scouts from Chelsea, Manchester United and Manchester City and Real Madrid have all been paying close attention to Lazio's Serbian midfielder, but Stamford Bridge is beginning to look like the most realistic destination. Milinkovic-Savic, 22, he is 22 years old actually, has the potential to become one of Europe's leading talents. His displays this season have been catapulted him towards a switch to one of Europe's elite. His agent, former Chelsea player Mateja Kezman, has been building him up publicly to the extent it seems he is sure to find him a new club. He told Serbian outlet Mozart Sport his client is better quality than Paul Pogba and he can become the most complete player on the planet. Sources in Italy say Lazio are going to play hardball when it comes to negotiating a fee, and they believe Manchester United and Chelsea are more serious about signing him. Alasdair Mackenzie of the Lazio Lounge podcast believe he could move on if the club do not qualify for the Champions League. He said the problem for any potential buyers is twofold. He signed a new contract last summer, and Lazio president Claudio Lotito is a notoriously hard bargainer. He won't let SMS go for less than 90 million euros or so, he says. A lot could depend on whether they reach the Champions League group stage. If they do, then it might be easier to convince him to stay. One of the big moves that is going to happen this summer is Robert Lewandowski heading to Real Madrid, and believe it or not, sources from Spain, the reports are saying that deal is already being signed with Lewandowski about a potential move in the summer to Real Madrid, as Florentino Perez is likely to replace BBC with Lewandowski, Hazard, and Neymar this summer. So yeah, let's talk about the next player that is being involved, and it is none other than the Barcelona's legend and magician Andres Iniesta. So yeah, Andres Iniesta is being linked to Chinese teams this summer, as it is going to happen, as Iniesta already said in an interview that he will think about his future before 30th of April, and it is likely to happen as he is catching up with age and is not able to play at his best potential. But it is a good season for Iniesta, and let's see what happens. Sources to Spain are saying that Iniesta could leave after this season and will be head to China, but the managers and players are saying that they will try to do anything to stop him from leaving Barcelona. So yeah, these are the transfer talks that can happen at the end of the season. And yeah, that's the end of the video. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And yeah, sorry for the voice if I'm too speedy with that, because I'm not, good at YouTube. So thank you, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.